Usually when they got hit, you lose control. You know, you get knocked out, and then the car keeps.
Yeah, it's Henry Brooks. Wide receiver.
I really don't know how to introduce what I'm about to show you. I just want you to know that this wasn't an impulse decision. I thought about it long and hard. I consulted with a couple of my YouTube friends, asking them if I should show you this content or if I shouldn't. Clearly, viewer discretion is advised. If you get troubled very easily by very tragic situations that we're about to show you, then I highly recommend clicking away from this video. And if you want to support the channel, this video is probably going to get demonetized for obvious reasons. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? A brief overview of the Henry Ruggs situation in the event that you happen to be new to this entire story. The 2020 NFL draft was known for many things, but the primary thing that it was known for was the amount of depth that the wide receiver class had. I mean, this is the draft class that featured the likes of CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, and Devin Duvernay. But the first wide receiver selected among that group wasn't any of those players. It was Henry Ruggs out of Alabama, who was selected purely based upon his ability as a route runner, how he was significantly faster than the rest of the receivers that we mentioned, and his offensive potential. 7 picks later, the Las Vegas Raiders selected Damon Arnett, who actually had his own miscues, which we made a video on this past weekend. There's a crazy update on him if you want to go check that out. As a result of being selected in the first round of the NFL draft, Henry Ruggs signed a fully guaranteed 4-year contract worth $16.67 million with a team option for a 5th year. And in his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders, he was used sparingly. He played in 12 games, had 452 receiving yards, which is decent. And then in 2021, he would play in 7 games and easily exceed those numbers. Why did he only play in 7 games? Well, in the midst of all of that, on November 2nd, 2021, Henry Ruggs would make a decision that would ruin his life and end the life of another woman by the name of Tina Tinter, when Henry Ruggs decided to go to Topgolf, get drunk out of his mind, and then drive his Corvette while having nearly 2 times the blood alcohol concentration that was legal to operate a vehicle. Factor this with the fact that Henry Ruggs was driving a car notorious for its speed and inability to handle, and the fact that his girlfriend was with him as well, and you get one of the worst mistakes that he clearly has ever made in his entire life. The sad thing is that Henry Ruggs was very much affected by the passing of his friend that he tragically lost to a car accident a few years prior. As a matter of fact, this shook him so much that Henry Ruggs committed to the University of Alabama by the memorial of his friend that passed away as a result of a car accident. So you would think that driving safely would be a huge theme in his life, right? Well, unfortunately, that wasn't the case. The Las Vegas Raiders would release Henry Ruggs almost immediately on the spot once they found out the details of the situation, and Henry Ruggs would be released on bail at $150,000. At the time, Derek Carr had this to say about the incident.
Did I not let him know that he really could? I'd be there for him at 3 a.m. I want to be better. He needs people to love him right now. He's probably feeling a certain type of way about himself right now, and he needs to be loved. And if no one else will do it, I'll do it.
Now, we did go more in depth on this entire story in our last video on the situation, but the most recent update we had up until this point is the fact that Henry Ruggs III unconditionally waived his right to a preliminary hearing on Tuesday and is expected to plead guilty to 1 count of DUI resulting in death and 1 count of misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter, which is supposed to land him in jail for anywhere between 3 to 10 years. And I know what the response is going to be, because the primary response in my last video on this is that's not enough. It's not necessarily my jurisdiction or my area of expertise to tell you how much someone should be punished, because on one hand, at a specific point, you're quantifying a human life here. Now that we got you up to date on everything, I want to show you the police body cam footage. Again, viewer discretion is advised for this part because it is very, very chilling.
49, all right, we got to block the intersection. Anyone inside the vehicle?
Oh, no, I couldn't hear it.
So you can see that's the vehicle that Henry Ruggs clearly crashed into.
Anyone inside the vehicle?
don't know. I couldn't hear you.
Control 449. The vehicle is completely on fire. We cannot do it. Hey, who was in this vehicle?
That's Henry Ruggs and Henry Ruggs' girlfriend, bro. Like right there. You tell like he has the roll tied, license plate over here.
We're gonna wait until they put out the fire.
I know somebody probably in there, but this is Henry Ruggs right here.
Huh?
Henry Ruggs right here, bro. Right.
Relax, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah.
What's that noise? The popping noise. It sounds like guns are going off.
Hey, let me do something. I don't know if someone's gonna be there. Okay. What I need to, yeah. What I need now, they need medical right here. Let me get tape. Block this intersection real quick. Yeah. Hey, we got medical coming up, okay? He needs medical, right?
So this is another angle.
On Tropicana, they'll be heading northbound, please. Should.
Yeah, what's that noise? I'm trying to figure out what that noise is.
Hey, somebody inside that vehicle, do you know him?
This was like my fourth time watching it and still not any easier watching that. The main reason I showed you this, guys, is it's really tough to stomach, but I'm very much the type of person that believes that if we want to prevent stuff like this from happening in the future, we need to see things like this. We need to understand that this is what happens when you get behind the wheel over 2 times the legal limit and just make a horrific mistake that could result in the loss of an innocent woman's life. I just feel for everyone involved. I mean, I usually preach this on the channel. There are times where you can make a mistake and you have the luxury of learning from the mistake and making sure you don't do it again. And in this particular case, Henry Ruggs made a really horrible mistake, and you would think that because of what happened to his friend before this a couple years ago, how his friend died in a car crash, he would take drinking and driving a little bit more seriously. In this particular case, at least it's not like the woman who lost her life while drinking and driving and trying to race Jalen Carter a couple months ago, because that woman didn't get the opportunity to learn from her mistake. But here, Henry Ruggs, although he lost out on generational wealth, although he ended a woman's life and her dog's life, although he jeopardized his girlfriend's life and is going to prison for at least 3 to 10 years, he has the opportunity to learn from this mistake. And who knows what his life is going to be in a few years from now. I just really feel empathy for everyone involved. I feel tremendous empathy for the family of the woman that was involved, Tina Tinter. And if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this, it's please don't drink and drive. I think I've made like 3 or 4 videos this year alone on drinking and driving. There was Henry Ruggs, then there was Jalen Carter's incident, and then there was Marshawn Lynch prior to that. It's just why? You know, like 15, 20 years ago, I guess I could understand it's kind of inconvenient to get a taxi cab to come pick you up, but now you literally could open your phone and get someone to drive to your location within 5 to 10 minutes. So why would you not do that? I just don't get it. We'll bring you guys any more updates in this situation. I'm sorry if the content of this video was too disturbing for you guys, and aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.